So we'd love for you to do, we could do one, both of you can do one each, whoever wants to start, or you want to tell us just what you have in mind, or you want to just go for it.
I'll start with a little bit of what's known as shamatha calm abiding meditation. This is a meditation that comes from the Buddhist tradition, which is very much about becoming more familiar with who we are and understanding ourselves better. So we'll be anchored in the present moment through anchoring ourselves into the breath. So to begin, if you're seated in a chair like me, you could just sit a little bit away from the back of the chair, finding your own natural sense of balance. Your feet are firmly on the ground, about hips width apart. You want to just take a moment to physically land in your body. So if you want to take a deep breath or two, you can. Then from this strong base, we're going to elongate upwards through the spine. If it's helpful, you can even imagine a string at the top of your head pulling you straight up. So you don't want to lift with your shoulders. You actually want to relax the muscles in your shoulders and your back. Your hands can just rest on your thighs. Our skull rests at the top of our spine with our chin slightly tucked in. You want to feel dignified, but also relaxed when you sit down to meditate. So you can relax the muscles in your face, your jaw. If your jaw hangs open, that's okay. You can place your tongue up against your roof of your mouth, allowing for clear breathing. Slows down the swallowing process ever so slightly. And you can make a conscious decision at this point to either, during this particular meditation session, keep your eyes open or closed. If you decide to keep your eyes open, you can just rest your gaze maybe 2 to 4 feet ahead of you on the ground in a loose and unfocused manner. Having connected with our body, we now bring our full attention to our breath, just allowing ourselves to breathe as we always do throughout the day. The only difference between now and the rest of the day is that we're actually going to pay attention to both the in-breath and the out-breath. The breath is always fresh. The breath is always what's going on right now. When we talk about meditation practice, we're practicing being this present with all of the other activities of our life. The more we're able to just rest with the natural feeling of the breath, the more we'll be able to rest with our experience when we're uncomfortable, when we're on a first date, when we're holding hands with our partner, the more we start to show up for all of these other areas of our life. So we train in just simply being with the breath, feeling the breath. When you notice that you have started to get distracted, you're starting to think about phone conversation you had earlier in the day, or you're all of a sudden planning your weekend, you're lost in the past or the future, come back to the breath, come back to the present moment. And if it's helpful, you could even gently and silently say, thinking to yourself. This is not to say that your thoughts are good or bad, just that what we want to be doing right now for this short session is coming back to the breath, coming back to the present moment. When you're ready, you can raise your gaze or open your eyes and come back to the space. It's a very simple practice that we just did. It's very simple, but not always easy. We often spend our days running around mentally, just letting our mind go wild. So to become so focused for a period of time, it might initially be challenging, but the more we do it, just maybe 10 minutes a day, the easier it gets, and the more present we start to become in the rest of our life.
That's great.
Thanks.
Lucky me. It's my lucky day. That was beautiful. Thank you. As soon as I realized that I was in a quiet place, everything just had become so peaceful and so enjoyable until, as soon as you said something about the thought, then I started thinking about my 14-year-old daughter and then my knees, and then I just went off again into that quiet space. And it was so quiet that I could almost hear like music or something vibrating in the background. It's really wonderful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's probably a good lead into Meggan's then.
I practice a meditation that I call the soul voice meditation. The reason for that is that I feel that it's really crucial to be in conversation with the soul, or if a soul isn't a word or a reality that you can identify with, that highest aspect of who we are, or our truth. The ego, the voice of fear, the voice of what other people think, all those voices are inside of us. But how do we get to that voice that we know is really the truth for us? So I wanted to begin to really be able to practice connecting to that truth of who I am and to be in conversation with that truth. And I came across a Christian monastic practice of the Desert Fathers, who were known as hesychus, and they had what was called the prayer of the heart. And they would actually curl forward and focus all of their attention into the heart. When I first began practicing the soul voice meditation, the prayer of the heart, I got like backaches and like neck aches. I just wasn't meant to be curling forward. And the other thing was that I wanted to be able to be in constant dialogue with that truth. So, when I'm on the subway or when I'm on the elliptical machine at the gym, I didn't want to just have that conversation on a meditation cushion alone in my room. I wanted to be able to always, at any point, be able to access that. So I changed the practice into something that we all can do at any point, and we don't have to be sitting in a particular way. Often when I teach the soul voice meditation in retreats, people will lie on the ground or will stand up. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the sense, as Lodro mentioned in his meditation, of really being grounded in the body, of really feeling a sense of being in the body. And the idea for me is going into the heart, focusing all our consciousness and attention into this space that we call heart, and then asking a question. We work a lot on dialoguing and having conversations with other people. We don't work that often with talking to ourselves, with having a conversation with ourselves. So often I'll lead a soul voice meditation with a question, so that it's kind of an icebreaker for when you're encountering that essence of who you are and asking a question that is really important and pertinent right now in your life. And for this soul voice meditation, what I want us to ask when we go within is, where has my love not yet reached? Because what I found in the course of writing How to Love Yourself with Lodro, that was something that kept coming up, was, my ability to love myself was only as great as my ability to love someone else, and vice versa. So if I met with something I wasn't able to love in someone else, that was actually a reflection of something that I couldn't love yet within myself. So I realized that question is a really rich one that we can ask ourselves again and again. So the way that I start the meditation, we're all sitting, and we're in dresses, so we don't want to lay on the ground, but
we'll do that later.
what I love to imagine, I usually close my eyes. What I love to imagine is a golden light, that sort of mystical golden halo that surrounds so many icons of mystics and paintings. Just imagine that golden light beginning to flow from the crown of your head. And as it moves down over the surface of your skin, also imagine that light moving through the inside of you as well. So it's running down over your skin, over your face, your shoulders, across your torso and down your legs, and then it's also moving through the inside of your body, allowing you to just be completely surrounded and infused with golden light. And then take a deep breath and imagine the heart as a sanctuary inside of you, however you want that to look. Maybe it's a temple, maybe it's a cathedral, maybe it's just a small little disco room. It doesn't matter. Just allow it to be that space within you where you can meet what's true and highest for you. So imagine your consciousness centering into that mystical space called heart, which is really a mediator between the worlds and between what we know and do not know. So let's enter the heart and know that we're going to meet with the presence, the essence of who we are. Let's take another deep breath and really feel present to the body which is our sacred chance to be here. And let's ask within our heart, to the soul of who we are, where has my love not yet reached? And know that you may be answered with pure emotion, with a feeling, with a vision, a memory, or actual words. Your answer may arrive in a myriad of ways, so just be open to receive. And I'll hold space for us in this place for several minutes. And I always give gratitude, whether I receive an answer or not, within the meditation, because I know at some point my answer will arrive in divine timing. So I give gratitude to this essence of who I am, to this soul that is my beloved in this lifetime. And I surface knowing that this relationship and this encounter is holy. the idea, the practice, what becomes so powerful is the more and more you drop into the heart, you reach what the hesychus called theosis, which is being in constant dialogue with the heart. So no matter where you are, or what situation, what circumstance you're in, you're able to access that truth that resides in the heart, and you can be open, even in situations where before your heart may have closed and constricted. And that allows for such transformation to happen, when we can be present and aware and open to what the heart, to how love might want to move us rather than fear, in situations when before we may have moved from fear and pain.
Beautiful. You know what? When you first started talking and I was going under, I had this vision of. Did you ever see that picture of Jesus's heart with the that radiating light around it? That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Wow, that's
and
beautiful.
then I heard, wow, it's my lucky day. What did I hear? Higher and higher was the response, and then let go, which,
Gorgeous.
you know, I have things I need to let go of, so.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want more. We need to do more. So that really wraps up our day and our interview. I am so grateful. I feel so light and empowered and inspired, and thank you. Your book will just help so many people, and you know, I'm very fortunate to have had this experience, because it's not easy, you know, being in this seat, you know, you sometimes feel like a little nervous or tension, and the fact that I was just really able to go on this journey with both of you has been profound, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
And the book out soon, September 15th, How to Love Yourself and Sometimes Other People. Thank you both.
Thank you.